Welcome back to Travel Talk, the show where I interview people whose lives are focused on travel or have been inspired by travel. And the best way to get to know someone is to have a drink with them. And today we're having drinks with Mario from Salud. Mario from The Way to Travel on Instagram. And me and Mario met about a year ago. I don't know what happened. I messaged him and then he was in Miami. And we met up and we became friends, and you've blown up since then. So I want to know, I want to introduce my audience to you and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi guys, hi everyone. I'm Mario, like David said, from at The Way to Travel on Instagram, and I'm Italian of origin, brought up in the UK, hence I have this mixed up accent. I've been back and forth to the US. I lived in New York for a long time and spent the last few years traveling around the world. And basically I started Instagram 4 years ago. My wife and I decided that we wanted to travel around the world, see as much as possible before we settled down and had family. We went off to the World Cup in Brazil, spent 5 weeks in Brazil, which was great. And sort of this travel bug, which I think I'd always had sort of in the background, sort of came back. My wife has always loved traveling as well, so we make a really good combination in terms of the photography. We're both into it, the cultural aspect as well, the traveling, meeting different people from different parts of the world. We made a really good combination there, and Instagram was really a thing for us, sort of family and friends, showing people like where we were around the world. And all of a sudden it just started, people started liking our photos, and I guess we just put a lot more focus on it. It started growing. We started taking more care of the quality of our photography, and it just blew up really. It's been 4 years of non-stop traveling around the world. We've been to Asia multiple times. We're back and forth to Europe all the time, around the Caribbean, South America, Mexico. We've spent a lot of time in a lot of the states around the US. So it's been an amazing experience, and we have this travel bug that even though at the beginning we said that when we settle down, or when we have kids, we'll settle down and not travel anymore. It's like, now that we actually have a kid on the way, we're like, okay, how do we keep traveling even though we have a baby coming along?
Don't worry, I'll teach you.
Yeah, you managed to do it, so
yeah.
I think it's an inspirational story for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people who are on the road who are wondering, how can I keep this going, and I want to have a family. But I don't think that the two things are separate. I think you can find a way to do the two things and not compromise.
Mario, tell me a little bit about what you focus on in your content.
Over especially the last couple of years, we focused a lot more on upgrading the quality of our equipment, focusing on landscape photography, city photography, beaches, which obviously we love, and working on getting the best possible pictures. A lot of it means, getting up early in the morning for sunrise, because there are particular times of the day that you get better photography, and it tends to be in low light conditions. But you get used to it after a while. It can be a bit of a pain at the beginning, but you get used to it after a while. So we do like the beaches, we do like the luxury locations, we do like amazing natural landscape. So that's really what we focused on. A lot of it was focused on cities, but that changed, as we saw more places, and we got to realize that we like the beach and we like the natural landscape a lot more. Our focus has gone more in that direction than actual cities.
And I've seen you've done a lot of hotels. What's like the ultimate destination for hotels?
That's a tough one, isn't it? When you look around, there are so many amazing hotels anywhere in the world. We have some favorite locations. Obviously you go to tropical islands like the Maldives, and there are these 5-star amazing hotels that they have absolutely everything that you could ever wish for in one small location. I mean, there's a particular brand that we like, but I think it's because it's sort of understated luxury, and it's right up our street in terms of
brand.
It's called a Como Hotel Group. It's it's a relatively unknown brand around the world, because they only have 12, 15 hotels. We've actually been to most of them already. We went to one and we loved it, and we were like, okay, let's go to another one, try it out, and we loved that one as well, so we kept going. And sort of understated luxury. The food is amazing. We're foodies, but we also like to eat very healthy, and they have a great menu for people who like to eat good food, but at the same time take a lot of care about what they're actually eating. None of them are huge locations, so you won't go and have busloads of people there. They're boutique, they're intimate, they're high-end, and a lot of them are in amazing locations. You know, the Maldives, Bangkok, London, Cannes, so they're in some pretty cool locations.
So what was the moment in your life where you knew you wanted to travel for the rest of your life, that you wanted to make a business out of it?
I mean, making a business out of it came later. I mean, ever since I was a kid, you know, with family, we used to travel a lot. You know, my grandparents were in Italy. I was going to school in England. We were going back and forth to Italy all the time, seeing different places there. Then, you know, when I finished university, I did a typical thing and went backpacking around Southeast Asia, Australia, and I got the travel bug there. And I remember really distinctly being sort of a bit depressed about the whole trip ending after several months traveling around the world. I've got to, you know, start my corporate career and all this, and then it was only really, you know, after meeting my wife and, you know, we shared this passion for travel, that we made the decision to start traveling around the world and all the luxury locations and all this. Instagram started to blow up, and it was then that we sort of like, okay, this is interesting, this seems to be working. Let's see how we can make it grow a lot faster, interacting with other people, meeting people who have done similar things like yourself, and other Instagrammers and bloggers from around the world.
So what was like the most shocking moment that you've had in your travels?
Shocking moment. Well, there is one thing I remember when we were, a few years ago, we were traveling from Germany, from Munich to Rome, and it was a late night flight. When I was young, I used to love turbulence. I used to be on a plane and like, I was like, oh,
you loved it?
Yeah, this is fun. I was like, everyone else is crapping themselves, and I'm like, kind of laughing. This flight that we had was incredible. The turbulence, the plane, we were over the Alps. You couldn't see anything outside. The only thing we heard was the captain saying to the stewardesses, to everyone sit down, wherever you are, just grab a seat, put your seatbelts on and move. And they're coming along with a food cart and a drinks cart, and the air stewards and stewardesses sat down holding on to the cart. Because the turbulence was so strong, and it went on for at least an hour. Went on for an hour, and then there was this moment where it all calmed down. And everyone, like, there were people that were screaming before, they were praying. My wife was there praying, you know, she thought, this is it, you know, it's all over. And then it calmed down, and all of a sudden, we were near the back of the plane, and the bathroom door opens, and the lady, an Asian lady, came out. And everyone was like, she was in there for the last hour, like in the turbulence. What was she doing? How did she? And just everyone just came out with this nervous laughter. It was hilarious. And then of course the turbulence started again, and everyone was screaming. It was just pretty terrifying. And to be honest, even though I'd been such a comfortable flyer before, even now, a few years later, I still get a little bit nervous when I started feeling a little bit of turbulence.
But still, I mean, even to this day myself, every time I get on a plane, when I start feeling it and it gets really rough, I start praying. Same thing, I'm just like, oh my God, just get me through this already. Because sometimes it's 20, 30, 40 minutes, and it's brutal. I think the worst place ever is the equator, crossing the equator. I don't know why. I've done it like, whatever, going to South America, going to Africa, and it's the worst. Like, I always hit a really bad pocket for an hour.
But yeah, that was a funny moment in a pretty terrifying hour or so that we were on this plane. So.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Let's both have a drink. Favorite type of food?
Mexican.
Favorite drink?
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
Mezcal is, for those of you that don't know, tequila is a mezcal. So mezcal is a distilled drink that you make from the agave plant. Tequila is from the blue agave. Mezcal is just agaves in general, and it's just smoked taste, and I love it.
Favorite hotel?
I mean, I love the Como brand, as I mentioned. One hotel that I love in the world. There's so many. To be honest, there's so many amazing places around the world. And just when you think that you've been to a certain location and been to all their best hotels, something else will open that's even more spectacular. So I pass on one favorite hotel. I mean, I don't want to say one because I want to keep exploring and seeing more.
So I guess the favorite group is Como?
Favorite group is Como.
Okay.
Yeah.
City with the friendliest people or country?
You can't go far wrong with Thailand, to be honest. I mean, the Thai people are just so friendly in general, and the service you get, whether you're in a $2 pad Thai restaurant or in a high-end restaurant or hotel in Bangkok or anywhere around Thailand. It's amazing. And the people always, it's service with a smile.
Yeah, it's always like that. Favorite airport?
Changi Airport, Singapore.
That's the best airport in the world.
Amazing. Yeah, the plants.
Movie theater.
It's just amazing.
Favorite airline?
And Singapore Airlines.
Favorite place that you can go to over and over again and never get bored?
Rome. I mean, Rome is really close to my heart. I mean, that's, you know, my family's originally from very near Rome. I've always gone back and forth to Rome. Every time I go, I get this sort of nostalgic feeling, and there's always, it doesn't matter how many times you go to Rome, I mean, it's not that big a city, but it's just got so much history, so much culture that I think you can spend a lifetime there and not see everything.
So where are you off to next?
We're expecting a baby, so that's, you know, we're being a little bit more careful in terms of exotic travel, so I think we're probably the Keys. Yeah.
Awesome. I haven't been. I've been to like 2 Keys. I haven't been to
Miami. I've never been to the Keys.
Come on,
disgraceful.
It's you know what? I'll tell you something. When you come from somewhere, you barely see the area. Like I don't know Florida. Barely know Florida, but I know I'm way more in Italy.
You know, a lot of people. I mean, I know it happens to you as well. A lot of people on Instagram or on your website, on YouTube, and everything else. You know, they see that you're traveling around the world and doing all these, seeing all these amazing things, doing these amazing things, and you know, people message you and say, "Hey, I wanna do that as well. You know, what do you recommend?" I think this point is really important because, you know, we all live in different parts of the world. Sometimes we take what we have close to us for granted. But really, if you just drive or get on a bus or get on a train and head half an hour out of your city or your town or wherever you are, there are some amazing places that you've never seen before. Start with the stuff that's close to you. Take that step. Go further away and further away each time with each trip, and you'll get a travel bug, and before you know it, you'll be on the other side of the planet experiencing all these amazing things that we've had the fortune to have experienced over the last few years. And that's where you start, I think. Buy a ticket, just do it. Resign from your job, buy the ticket, and go to the other side of the world. I promise you, you will never regret.
This is Mario. Follow him on Instagram, The Way to Travel. Cheers, dude. Salud.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks, guys. The Way to Travel on Instagram, and of course my friend Davidsbeenhere on Instagram, YouTube. Where else are you? You're all over the place.
I'm everywhere. I'm gonna go on our new platform now soon. Top secret.
It's always onto something new.
It's a live platform. We'll see. All right, guys. Cheers. Thank you, and see you next week. Cheers. Okay. Thanks. Grazie.
That's it.